Alright guys, so I'm not sure if many of you are familiar with Black Twitter. And if you're not, it's very simple what Black Twitter is. Black Twitter is just a cesspool of liberal/woke commentary and opinions from black people on Twitter. That's all it is, right? That's all it is, because they damn sure don't allow black conservatives to participate in the conversations of Black Twitter. But this toxic cesspool here of woke opinions feels like they're under attack because Elon Musk purchased Twitter. And Joy Reid Light, aka Miss Joyless Reid, aka Miss Tiffany D. Cross, pondered whether or not Black Twitter would become entertainment for white supremacists because of Elon Musk's imminent takeover. And because of that, she had a conversation with another super woke black liberal about what should Black Twitter do? Should Black Twitter leave, and where should they go? Because the white supremacists are coming, right? Again, it's a very ridiculous conversation. But before I get into that, I just want to let you guys know, if you like my channel, you want to support my channel, you can do so using the links in the description below. You support the Patreon, you support the PayPal, you support the merch. There are multiple ways to support the channel if you would like to do so. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this clip of Miss Joyless Reid discussing what should Black Twitter do because the white supremacists are coming, allegedly. Take a look.
All right, Black Twitter has turned controversy into comedy and given us hashtags that turned our collective pain into movements. But now that Elon Musk has purchased Twitter, what exactly does this mean for the cultural phenomenon that has made the app millions upon millions of dollars, and quite frankly, other communities that are creating real-world change on Twitter? Joining me now to talk about the future of Black Twitter is Michael Harriot. He's a columnist at The Griot, and some might argue the unofficial king of Black Twitter. So let's get into it, Michael, because honestly, everything you tweet, I feel like it's like 1,000 retweets every time. You ask these very probing questions, and you're so great on Twitter. You're like a celebrity there and in real life. Talk to me about what you think this means for Black Twitter now that Elon Musk has taken over the platform.
Well, you know, I guess we'll wait to see, because we kind of don't even know if Elon Musk will really purchase Twitter.
I mean...
And I think, like, when we're talking about, like, Twitter and social media in general, we have to remember that it's not just, like, black people are cool and that's why they run Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
But if it is worth something, then it is because of Black Twitter or the black voices that drive social media.
Yeah. And, you know, there are other communities on Twitter also, like the trans community on Twitter, the Latino community on Twitter. A lot of different communities on Twitter try to, you know, create movements there. But I have to say, like, Black Twitter is probably the most robust in terms of engagement. And it's something that so many people have asked me about. What is Black Twitter? Where is Black Twitter? If you don't know, it's not for you, probably. But I'll ask you this, though, because I know you're saying, like, we can't leave or we shouldn't leave because that's where we create change. But we could go to other platforms to do that. Because I think if he opens this platform up to other people, you know, do you want to be entertainment for the white supremacists that are going to flood this platform again if he's going under free speech, as he suggests?
Well, I'm not saying that we can't leave or we shouldn't leave, because
well, where are we going to go?
Because, first of all, there are a number
Tell us, we are looking to you.
There's Black Planet, right?
I got on Black Planet because you tweeted the answer is Black Planet. This is the most unlikely comeback that I thought would happen in 2022.
There's Black Planet. There's, you know, Isaac Hayes III has a whole platform that pays black creatives, right? So there are a number of platforms. Like, it's not like black people are out here just tweeting and saying we ain't gonna create our own. We're creating our own, and so we can feed that, because where we go is where people will go, you know, whether it's music or TV or all parts of the culture, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think that we are, like, held hostage by Twitter, right? It's just the most popular black platform, but wherever we go will be the most popular platform.
Yeah.
People, I think, when you see someone who supports, you know, the stuff that Elon Musk supports, he's kind of tacitly support kind of right-wing and this libertarian, like this basically like light version of white supremacy, then those people are going to feel emboldened. And we saw that, like, the reason the people planned the Capitol riot on Parler was because Twitter said you can't be here.
Right.
But if Twitter is owned by somebody who says, come on over, you can say whatever you want to, because it's this notion that free speech is a thing. Like, you can say anything you want to other people, and that is not violence.
Yeah, guys. So I gotta love it how you have these think pieces and these people discussing what will happen with Black Twitter because an African-American man, Elon Musk, bought the platform. Okay, a guy who has deeper roots to Africa than any of these people having these discussions will ever have to the so-called homeland, right? I just find that to be hilarious. How they feel like they're under attack simply because opinions that they don't like and people they don't like will be allowed on the platform. I mean, by the way, it's not just white people that have been banned from that platform. Actually, there have been black people who you could frame to be black supremacists, people like Louis Farrakhan, who have been suspended from the platform. Now, his account was reinstated, but he's been suspended before, okay, for making anti-Semitic and homophobic comments, alleged anti-Semitic and homophobic comments, okay? So let's not sit out like, well, the only people that Twitter suspends are straight white males, and the ones that are suspended are white supremacists, okay? I'm pretty sure that most people that are suspended from Twitter, even if they happen to be white or whatever, right? They don't give a damn about Black Twitter, right? They don't care about what Black Twitter has to say because Black Twitter is his own little bubble, right? It's his own little bubble. A cesspool of black liberal / woke opinions. That's all it is. And that's not to say that Black Twitter doesn't have relevance, because it does. They produce a lot of good memes and they set trends and stuff like that. But I mean, hold on now. Let's not get carried away and say that without Black Twitter, there wouldn't be a Twitter, okay? Because there are much larger communities on Twitter that keep the platform going. And here's the thing. I mean, Black Twitter is really a subset of political Twitter, right? Twitter is big because of politics. That is why Twitter is as big as it is, because that is a vast majority of the conversation going on Twitter. Most of the trending topics on Twitter are about politics, okay? So that being said, if Black Twitter gets up and leave, I don't think there's gonna be that much of an effect, okay? I'm black, I'm on Twitter, and yes, I see some things that come from Black Twitter that are funny, but they're really irrelevant in regards to the larger, broader conversation for the most part, at least today. And I'm gonna get into when Black Twitter is actually relevant, but I want to finish my point here, which is that they're not really gonna go anywhere. The reason why is because they don't have anywhere to go, right? They don't have anywhere to go. Everybody wants to be on a platform like Twitter because that's the platform everybody's on. Okay, so if all these black people get off of Twitter and go to a platform where only black people gonna be on, then you instantly become irrelevant. Nobody cares about that. There's a reason why Black Planet didn't work, right? There's a reason why the Black News Channel didn't work. Anytime you market anything just for black people, is probably not going to work. The market is simply not large enough. I don't know why people keep trying to do this. Okay, I wish there was a smart black businessman that would start a platform, not call it Black anything, and just open it up for everybody, right? That would be the smart thing to do, okay? If you really want the platform to be big, if you want it to be successful. But, you know, again, like I said, these people are not going anywhere because they don't want to be on a platform that's just for black people. They don't want to be on that because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of those platforms out there and they're relevant for a reason. It's the same reason why all these other right-wing alternatives didn't really work. They didn't really get all that big, besides the fact that, you know, big corporations like Amazon, Google, Apple, whatever, try to undercut them. But I'm just saying, one of the reasons why they're not getting as big is because nobody wants to be on a platform where it's just you and that's it. They want to be on a platform where their reach is large and people that don't necessarily agree with them can hear what they have to say. That's the whole point. That's why they're not going anywhere. They're going to moan and complain about it, but they're not going anywhere ultimately at the end of the day. And here's my thing. If you feel like anything that somebody says to you on an app is a form of violence, you need to reevaluate your life, right? If you're really that triggered and emotionally traumatized from Elon Musk buying Twitter or Elon Musk allowing people on Twitter that you don't like, again, you need to really reevaluate your life. You're not cut out for the real world, okay? You just aren't built for real life, okay? I'm just being real. But here's a point I really want to make, because they bring up this whole thing about violence, okay? And the violence that comes from people being able to speak freely on Twitter. And I found that to be fascinating because a lot of the BLM protests / riots and the Antifa protests / riots came from the fact that Twitter allowed free speech for them, right? They allowed free speech for the radicals on Twitter, and that ignited all these protests and riots that actually resulted in a form of violence, okay? That burned down stores, neighborhoods, people lost their lives, people got killed, people got robbed, people's livelihoods got destroyed because of the free speech that was allowed by Twitter from these radical extremists, right? So if y'all want to sit and talk about violence as a result of what happens or what is said on Twitter, then you got to point to Black Twitter first, because Black Twitter has been responsible for the most violence I've seen probably in my lifetime. The most domestic violence I've seen in my lifetime when it came to the BLM/Antifa riots. Okay? So if you want to have an argument in regards to being censored because your opinions might cause violence, then the people in Black Twitter should be the first people to be censored. Because objectively speaking, they have sparked riots, okay? All types of violence across this country. So again, if you want to have that conversation, we can have that conversation. Because I'm sick and tired of this narrative coming from the left that it's violence. Everything is violence. Free speech is violence against them. Because people say mean things to them on Twitter. But you have things that people on the left say that literally cause real world violence. And the Democrats and the left, they turn their head and act like it doesn't exist. You know? Like it's not a thing. When they're the ones that are actually really causing real world violence. Yeah, it absolutely blows my mind. It really does. And that's a conversation that needs to be had. If you really want to be pro-censorship in terms of censoring people because they might cause real world violence from what they say on Twitter, again, let's start with Black Twitter first. They should be the first to go. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.